Back. We're in America. We're driving along on the train, and we're here to play in the Warwick Regional, which is in District 24 or something like that. Don't quite understand all the district systems. You can see we're kind of going down the east coast. That's the Atlantic. If we swim really fast, we get back to Britain. And I'm here playing with Wendy. This is Wendy. Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
Looking forward to it?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we're going to be playing Wendy for 4 days here. I don't exactly know whether they're playing pairs or teams. It's going to be a lot of pairs. We might play the odd teams match, but we're going to be turning up to a regional, which if you're from the UK is like a congress. It's like a 5-day event with some knockout teams, some bracketed teams, and some pairs events. So we're going to do the best we can. We're going to be playing some 2-over-1, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we've played online a couple of times, and 2 or 3 times or so. 3 times, and we are we're just doing some system stuff. You can see all this paraphernalia here. We're sorting out some bids and what they mean, so that when they come up in the play, we'll get them right, and we'll get some good boards out of it, hopefully. So yeah, we're going to be playing tomorrow, taking an early train there, staying overnight, and hopefully it should be a lovely time. So we're here in Providence. First day I've vlogged where the weather's not been great. It's raining, spitting, light drizzle outside. I don't know whether it's related to the hurricane going on in Florida at the moment, but we're fairly far away from that. There's a room for like a beginner section here. This is like there's lessons, and this is a beginner friendly thing, so that's really big for a congress to cater for that many beginners, improvers, whatever level it's aimed at. It's really good. We don't have that in the UK. The hotel's pretty large, and the room we're playing in's got maybe 3 times as many tables as that. So wandering there now. Wendy's going to meet me at the start of play. I'm going to spend some time writing convention cards. We talked on the train, went through all the opening bids and competitive bids and doubles that you need to do so that you're not on different wavelengths. So now it's just going to be about, individual mistakes, I guess, hopefully, or system forgets. But we're not playing anything that Wendy's never played before, never heard of. So hopefully we'll be on the same wavelength enough to do well today. We're playing in an open pairs. I don't know if we're going to be doing any teams today or not, but we will see. So I'm going to sit down and start writing a convention card or 2 in a nice pink pen to match my pink shirt. And then we're going to go through 2 sessions today and then lunch tonight. And we're going to meet Nikki and Ben for lunch tonight, or dinner tonight, so that should be good. So we're in an open pairs with, 14, 15 tables or something. And then there's lots of other events going on. We're not doing so good. We've got a lot of negative scores. The vast majority haven't been necessarily clear errors by us either. Opponents bid to a thin slam that just made on 2 finesses and a break, and was like, well, it's one of those days. However, early on in the set, you pick up the following hand. You have Ace King to 4 spades, King Jack to 5 hearts, a singleton Ace of diamonds, and 3 clubs. So you've got 14 count, and everyone's vulnerable. And it goes 2 diamonds on your right. And I think your choices here, one, you have to be bidding, obviously. So your choices here are between doubling, because you've got the shape to double, and bidding 2 hearts because you've got 5. And this is a style thing, I think. There will be some people, I think if you put this on a bidding poll, there will be some people doing both actions, so I don't think one's clearly better than the other. I have a personal preference, but before I tell you what mine is or what we did in the hand, what would you do if it goes 2 diamonds weak on your right and you to bid with this hand? My personal preference is when you're not light to bid your 5-card suit when you've got both majors. So if I think I'm only ever going to get 1 bid in the auction, I might double. So for example, maybe take away the King of Spades. I might make a double because it gets your hand across better than 2 hearts, potentially a whole hand. But when you're full strength here, you can bid 2 hearts, and potentially if it goes 3 diamonds pass, you can double a second time round to try and get spades in the game if you want to be pushy a bit, because you're not quite strong enough for that, but you've got a decent hand. And obviously there will be some people who will double on this hand just because they've got a singleton diamond in both majors, and I generally like to bid my 5-card suit. And again, I think if you put this as a bidding poll, you get mixed responses. Looking at the full hand, doubling works wonderful. Your partner's got 6 diamonds to the Queen Jack 10. So if you double, you probably get 800, 1100, some huge number, assuming that North doesn't run to clubs or whatever North would run to. As it went club, rough, diamond to the ace and rough, to club, rough, to diamond. You rough in with the jack. The next hand does well and discards with queen 10 X of hearts. You then play 2 rounds of spades, the queen's falls, and then you guess right to duck a heart into the stiff ace and 3 off. Even though you got a lot of decisions right in the hand, you can cash your 2 spades before all the spades are thrown away, and you guess to duck a heart rather than to try and pin something. And you go for 300, which we don't get percentages after every board, but it's not going to be good, is it? So yeah, one where double works well, but I think I'm in the overcalling 2 hearts camp majority of the time. I'm just in the queue for dinner. We had about 50% first session. It was fine. We started off pretty poor, so we did well to catch up to get even. I found myself in 3N on the following hands. I'll give you the north-south hands, or at least my hand and dummy. And I'm the hand with king, queen, jack to 5 hearts. And the bidding has gone, I was pass. It's gone pass, pass, and your partner opens 1 spade. So it goes pass to you. You bid 1 no trump, which is no longer forcing. As a pass stand, it should just be to play. And then the next hand bids 2 diamonds. So after passing initially, and then you come in with 2 diamonds, the partner bids 3N. So for whatever reason, this lady had not bid their diamonds. They didn't open in week 2, so maybe they've only got 5 or something. Partner bids 3N, and you're like, okay, well, I've got jack 10 extra diamonds. That's going to be pretty good on a diamond lead. And they lead the king of diamonds at trick 1, and you're in 3N here. And it's match point, so you're obviously trying to make the most of the tricks, so just count your tricks initially. You've got 2 diamonds, 2 spades, what look like 5 hearts. So that's 9 tricks, and you need to decide where your extra tricks are going to come from. There is a chance that they deviate and don't set your jack of diamonds up, so there's no guarantee there, but because you've got the 10, 9, 8 of clubs, they can't really attack clubs, and because you've got the 10 and 9 of spades, they can't really attack spades. You've got to be careful about maybe setting up too many tricks so that they can beat you without setting up your jack of diamonds. So obviously your extra tricks have to come from spades or clubs, and you can either play for some sort of thing happening in spades, we'll talk about in a sec, or you could play up to the king of clubs. Now there's a very good chance the ace of clubs is on side because they have overcalled 2 diamonds. They've got the king, queen of diamonds from the lead, and they're probably going to have the ace of clubs, just because they're overcalled at the 2 level vulnerable. However, if spades are behaving, you might be able to make more spade tricks. So what do you do? Well, which line do you go for? Is it a toss-up? Well, you can sort of combine chances. You can play the ace of spades and look for a couple of things. One, you can look for a singleton queen or jack or queen jack doubleton. And if that's the case, potentially you can make some extra tricks there. Queen jack doubleton, where you play the ace in for none falls, you then play small towards your 9 and you set up an extra spade to 10. And if it is queen jack doubleton, you've lost a trick, you make all the rest of the spades, and so they have to try and cash out now to keep you to 10. But when you play the ace of spades, they're often going to give count, especially the hand that's got 3 low or 2 low spades, potentially. It's going to give count. And you look at their count signal. So in this particular case, you play the ace of spades, and they both show an even number, whatever their counting methods are. They both showed an even number. They're playing reverse count. So in this particular case, spades are likely to be 4-2. One of the benefits if they're playing reverse count is that they will play a low one from Queen X or Jack X, so they're going to be giving true count in that case, and the hand before is going to be giving true count as well. It seems very unlikely that they're going to both false guard. So when you play the ace of spades and they both show an even number, you need to deviate. You need to go back and try and play a club up. So you play the ace of spades and they both show even. If they both showed odd, you'd probably play for spades to be breaking. You play ace of spades and duck a spade just so you didn't lose control, and then you can potentially, they'll clear the diamonds maybe, and you might be able to make 10 or 11 even, which is one of the benefits of playing spades. If they don't cash out here, you might be able to make 11 because they don't realise you've got these hearts. But when they both show an even number, you need to deviate. So you play the ace of spades, it goes even, and then you cash 5 hearts and play a club up to the king. The ace of clubs is on side. You've got a chance at 10. Again, they have to set up your jack of diamonds, so it's not guaranteed, which is why going straight for clubs is probably the wrong thing. But it's one of these things where you can combine chances, and their defensive hand with nothing in spades is going to be helpful to their partner, and in this case they were, and you can make 10 because they set my jack of diamonds up. So another hand that came up earlier, you end up playing in 4 spades with the hand on screen. They didn't bid. You open 1 spade with 11. It's a good 11. You've got your points in your suits. You've got 2 suits to bid, and you have a singleton, and the rebid's easy. So you open a spade. Partner bids 2 clubs, game forcing with clubs, and you bid your hand. You bid 2 hearts. Partner bids 2 spades to show spade support. This still could be a good hand, but you have a minimum, so you bid 4 spades. If partner wants to move over that, you've bid your hand. You've got 5 spades, 4 hearts, and a minimum. If partner wants to bid key card over that, actually you've got 2 key cards, and partner can find out what they need. But obviously you're telling partner not to go on without a reason to. So partner passes, and you're in 4 spades, and they lead a small diamond of sorts, and you've got to decide what to do. So a quick scan of the hand tells you you've got possibly 4 or 5 spade tricks, 3 or 4 heart tricks, and 2 diamonds. So if things like well, you make 11, and if things like poorly, you could go off. So you've got to try and cater to make as many tricks as you can, whilst also trying to avoid going off, because obviously going off is just poor when it looks like if you guess where things are, you can possibly always make it. Like you can refuse a spade finesse if the queen's offside or something like that. So I lead a diamond at trick 1, and I want to potentially, if hearts don't break, potentially ruff at the 4th heart in dummy, and if they over ruff or whatever, they might just be ruffing with a natural trump trick. So that's what I want to combine. I want to combine my heart loser with my trump loser if I'm going to lose both. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, and at some point I'm going to play like ace queen of hearts and play a small heart towards my hand, and if the jack hasn't appeared, if the hand on my right has only 2 hearts, they can't ruff in without without ruffing a loser or something like that. That's kind of what I want to aim towards, and if they don't ruff in, I can win the king of hearts and potentially maybe ruff a heart high and do some finessing or something. So at trick 2, I did something that worked out, ended up working out pretty well. I played the 9 of spades off dummy at trick 2, and that caught my right-hand opponent off guard. He covered with a 10, kind of glared at me for why is he running the 9, and then I played the jack. Because what I can't afford to do is refuse a spade finesse, because if things lie well, I make 11. So I played the 9 of spades, 10 jack, and the jack held. I'm like, okay, so he's got queen 10 doubleton, queen 10 XR, queen 10 to 4. And I was unblocking the 9 of spades in case I ever need to ruff with the ace of spades and then finesse back towards my hand or something like that, whether that be correct or not correct. So now I cashed ace queen of hearts, and the jack doubleton falls on my right. So the guy had initially the jack doubleton. So I'm like, okay then, so hearts are coming in. I played ace of spades and a small spade, and my left-hand opponent showed out on the ace of spades. The spades were 4-1 initially. So I got away with that a bit. I was only unblocking the 9 of spades in case I ever needed to ruff high, which I'm only going to do some of the time. But that sort of foresight and potentially puts the defence off, and he couldn't play small smoothly. I was never running the 9. But because he couldn't play small smoothly, he felt he needed to cover. And then I played the jack. So sometimes it's better to just not think. I'm never playing the 10 of spades, so even if the Clara does something weird, I'm just going to play small smoothly, and I got away with that a bit. Obviously, I'm trying to cater for making my contract when things like poorly, coupled with the fact I'm making 11 whenever I can make 11. And I made 11, but with spades 4-1, obviously it's going to be a really big result, because most people aren't going to make the lot that I did. So we've got one of these breaks. In American events, they do these. They add an extra 5 minutes onto certain rounds, and you get a break. And we finish with 10 minutes on the clock, so we're just going for a little wander. We can't go out the fire escape, but we're maybe going to get some fresh air and come back in again. And then there was one hand where you pick up. You've got a strong no trump, 4, 3, 3, 3, and you've got king, queen, jack X, ace, jack 9. 3 low diamonds, no apologies, king, jack, X of diamonds, and 3 low clubs. And you open a stronger trump, and partner transfers to spades, and our agreement is we only break the transfer if we're maximum. I'm a minimum, so although I've got 4 spades, I don't want to kind of push us to 3 spades when Wendy's got like a 3 count or something. So Oh, that's just getting a shot. There we go. So I bid 2 spades, and then partner bids 4 no chumps. We haven't discussed this, but this sounds quantitative. We'd agreed that 1 no chump 3 spades was a slam try, so she can't have a slam try in just spades. She won't be doing key card here. So this is just going to be a hand with 5 spades and maybe like a 15, 16 count quantitative. So I'm very flat. So although we've got a 9 card fit, I don't think it's going to generate an extra trick. I mean, am I really going to be roughing very often in my hand when partner's got a second 4 card suit, and partner could have bid a second 4 card suit? So it feels like Wendy's got 5 spades and a flat hand, and I've got a flat hand as well. So my choice between bidding in no trumps or spades, the weather is nice out here, is I think quite easy. I think I just need to play in no trumps, and once I've decided that, I think it's right to pass. Now the danger is that they might lead my weak suit, which is clubs, and if Wendy's not got many or any club stops, it's not the best, but she'd like to have some. But obviously when I've shown a strong balanced hand and Wendy's probably got a strong balanced hand, they're probably going to make a passive lead. So I'm expecting a red suit lead or even a spade, because they're going to be leading from like a 3 low or 4 low in one of the red suits quite often. So I think passing 4N is probably right. It's what I did, and I can see where dummy comes down. I did have a guess on the diamonds to make 13. I got that. Well, I didn't dare take it because at the time I took it, my entries were a bit messed up a bit, so maybe I could have taken that a bit earlier. Because they led a heart, so obviously I picked the hearts up, but I have to use an entry to play a heart to the 9. They led the 7 of hearts from 3 to the 7. So I messed my entries up anyway, but I make 12, so we're going to beat those people not in slam. It's whether people are going to be in 6 spades, which is a fine contract. Well, not so fine contract. You just need the heart finesse basically to make 6 spades, and then I can rough a heart in my hand, which is the trick I didn't think I was going to get because Wendy. I thought Wendy would be balanced more often than she was, but anyway, we've got a good board. So you pick up the following hand. You've got 2 low spades, queen to 4 hearts, king x of diamonds, and queen to 5 clubs. And the bidding goes 2 clubs on your right, strong. Pass from you. 2 diamonds on your left, waiting, weak, or whatever. We didn't ask. And your partner jumps to 3 hearts. Now everyone's vulnerable, so obviously they're going to have either a good suit or a long suit here because they're coming in when the 2 club opener is on their left and so on. So the 2 club opener doesn't look like they like their lot in life and bids 4 diamonds. So you decide to bid 4 hearts. You've got queen to 4. If partner's got like ace to 7 or something, you've got the king of diamonds is well placed. You're making it hard for them. They could still have 6 diamonds on, or 6 spades or 4 spades or something. So you're just making it hard. You bid 4 hearts, and this goes 5 diamonds, pass, pass, pass. So you're defending 5 diamonds, but because they've opened 2 clubs, the person playing the hand is the weak hand. So partner leads a small heart, and dummy goes down with what you can see, and it goes small heart, small, queen, small. Your queen of hearts holds. So when weird things like this happen, you need to take stock. Why on earth is your queen of hearts held at trick 1 when you know partner must have the rest of the hearts? Partner's jumped to 3 hearts. Dummy's got this 2, you had 4. Declare has already shown up with 1. Partner's underled his ace and king. You need to take stock here. And so what could be going on? Well, partner might think, obviously you've got these queen, king, queen. Partner might think this is a risky thing, a risky contract or something like that, and so maybe partner's doing something brave, like looking for a ruff. So you now, when you an unexpected card holds when it shouldn't do, here partner must have the ace or king of hearts, or if Declare's got the ace of hearts, why have they ducked the queen? They should have taken it, but partner can't have 5 hearts. So partner must be ruffing something. So obviously you've got queen to 5 clubs over dummy's ace, king, jack to 4. It looks likely partner hasn't got any clubs in his hand. So assuming you trust them, does playing a club ever cost? Well, it looks like you're going to make the queen of clubs as well as giving partner a ruff, and as well as the king of diamonds. So as long as you trust your partner's lead, when you have queen of hearts hold at trick 1, you think partner must be void club, and depending on trust issues there, it's close to 100% the partner will be roughing a club if you play a small club. And so you can play a small club and partner can try and cash a heart after that, which won't cash. You can see the full hand now, and you get that club ruff, and now you also make your queen of clubs. They've got no way to throw it away. Declare with spades aren't good enough to set up. And the king of diamonds, you've got the king of diamonds over the ace, queen, jack. So you're going to make the heart you made at trick 1 a club ruff
the King of Diamonds and the Queen of Clubs eventually. I don't think you can be thrown in necessarily, because you should always have heart exits because declarers run out of trumps. So well done if you found that. It's one of those things where you just need to stop and consider. Now, it's one of those moments where you're not expecting your Queen of Hearts to hold the first trick. You're expecting partners maybe led from King Jack to 6 and declarer's got a stiff ace, and when your Queen holds you need to stop, take track and see if you can find the club ruff, and if you do you get plus 200, which at match point is pretty good. So you can see here the size of the main venue. This is the main venue. There are some tables right out the back as well. I don't know, it was like the Swiss teams was like overflowed, and we finished, the bridge mate told us we got 49% both sessions. I think we finished on a poor board potentially, so I'm not sure whether it's going to drop a bit, but overall we finished just under 50%. There's as new partnerships go, and what I would recommend if you ever sit down with a new partnership is to discuss situations where doubles are penalties versus doubles are takeout. What are your competitive beans? Because today, not necessarily we've misbid, we've just not been on the same wavelength. I've made a couple of doubles. One got passed when it was takeout, and we conceded 670, and then one got passed when it wasn't takeout, when it was penalties, and obviously we missed a penalty. And that's not necessarily a mistake by either of us. It's like I have to try and double for penalties here, and partner pulled it. Okay, so I bid 3N, which doesn't score as well as you know, taking 5 or 800 or whatever we were doing for them. So what I would recommend is, if you are going to rock up to an event, is that you just discuss in situations where doubles are this or doubles are that, and you stick to it, even if it's not ideal, even if it's a quick kind of bandage method or whatever you're going to do. As long as you're on the same wavelength, you know when I double here, that's definitely takeout, and so it's a safe double to make. So that I would recommend. When I played with Gizzy in the Oxfordshire pairs, we spent about half an hour just talking about different situations where doubles, and not only that, but like the second double and third double in the same auction, a no trump double, 2 outs double, 2 spades double, what's that third double? Now obviously that's a bit overkill, but just talking about general styles and general things means that you can be a bit more confident in these competitive auctions where you need to be getting in there at pairs and making your bids and competing, and if you haven't got those agreements, sometimes you just have to sit and pass. So that's it for the day. Wendy's gone to make some phone calls. We're going out for a meal with Ben and Nikki. You might get to see a quick hi from Ben and Nikki later if they come to the meal with us. We're going to a nice seafood restaurant on the coast. So if the view's nice and the weather's nice and it's daylight, I'll take a picture or two and stick it at the end of the vlog. But we'll be back tomorrow. We don't necessarily know whether we're playing pairs or teams yet. Our decision is we're going to play pairs for most of it. And then if someone who we wouldn't mind playing teams with asks us for a teammate, then by sure we'll give maybe one day a teams a go or something like that. So yeah, we've had a good day. It's been good. The venue's decent, and looking forward to some nice food to finish the day. I'll see you tomorrow.